Coach Coop, what's going on? Josh, what's going on, man? Maintaining, man. Maintaining. Maintaining. Trying to stay out the way. Yep. Young boy from Wake Forest coming on. Crop, what it do? Frush, what's going on? Isaiah, I see you. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Cool. Welcome to episode 65 of the Positive Impact Podcast, where we talk about all topics relevant to the game I love. I am your host, Terrell Dozier, and tonight's guest, I'm excited to talk to this guest, polished young man. Very excited to hear what he has to say tonight. Wake Forest Jr., Isaiah Mucius.
Yo, yo.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What's going
sir.
on?
What's happening?
Not much, man. Grinding, and living life to the fullest.
All right, glad to hear it. Feeling the Yankee blue. Way to represent back home.
Always. I got a few hitters over here, so I make sure I represent New York well when I'm out here in North Carolina for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. Jason Smith, I see you. I was a bucket a long time ago, man. I ain't got no buckets left in me, Jay. But this young man got plenty of buckets left in him, man. So excited to have you on, man. Excited to chop you up like I've been saying all week, man. But let's get right into it, man. Let's give you the viewers a little background on you and and how you fell in love with the game that seems to be taking you a lot of places right now.
Yeah, so came from New York, lived in Floral Park for about 10 years, moved out to East Patchogue, New York, which is a little bit close to Montauk. Grew up out there. First started off at boarding school, 8th to 9th grade. I started off at boarding school 8th grade, so kind of went on to that boarding school journey at a young age. Me and my parents, obviously it was a tough decision for my parents. I'm their firstborn, so it was it was definitely a hard decision to make, but at the same time, we kind of knew the benefits and we knew that it was going to be a great decision for our family, but also for me to be able to kind of grow and become a man, not really a man, but be able to mature at a faster rate. So made that decision. I went to the Fessenden School in Massachusetts for 2 years. That was a great experience. Met a bunch of different people. My roommate was actually from Uganda. Okay. So, I was able to, really, be able to develop friendships and relationships with a lot of different people that I still have to this day. From then, I went to St. James School in Maryland for 2 years where, I played for Coach Pre and Coach Don Shoplin, who are two great, amazing coaches who I just actually talked to last week. Two great people who really helped me with my game. And, that's where I kind of started to take off, and then ended off my high school career at Brewster Academy with Jason Smith. And, that year was really great for me. Went up there and won that NEXAP AAA Player of the Year, which was a big honor for me. A lot of NBA guys that played that haven't even won that. So, being able to go up there and play it at a high level in a high-level conference and really be able to produce and show out was really helped me prepare for Wake. So then now I'm at Wake, been here for 3 years, going on to my junior year, and I'm just excited. We got a new coach here. The atmosphere has been great. Guys are really working hard. I'm stepping into that leadership role right now, and being a leader, you got a lot of things that you got to take on, being able to talk to different guys, different ways, communicate with the coaches, communicate with the guys. But, I've been really challenging myself, and I've been embarking on this journey. I'm just excited for, the season to start for sure.
Nah, no doubt, no doubt. So let's take it back a little bit and talk about the decision that you and your parents made to say, okay, listen, man, we're going to put you in the right place, and we're going to build you the right way. We felt like, okay, there was a better opportunity for you away from home. While it's tough for parents to, like you said, like depart with their kids, we felt it was the right decision for you. So talk about what it was like at an early age, leaving home and not being with your parents so early on in your academic career.
Man, at first it was really tough, coming home and having your mom and dad answer some questions for you, having them help you with your homework. That first couple months at boarding school was kind of tough for me. I had never been away from home for maybe more than a month, so being away and really having to, they at the school, they did a really good job of, being the mother and father figure for you. You have dorm parents, you have the people, the teachers there who really take care of you and make sure that you never really slip up. But, you did a lot of stuff on your own. You made sure you fold your own clothes. I learned how to tie my own tie there. I had to get up and iron my own clothes, do my own laundry, make sure I look right before I go to class, get my own work done. So it was tough the first couple of months, but, I think once those 3 months got past, I had the phone conversations with my mom. I went home one weekend, and we really talked about how big this would be for me down the road. And, my parents were always talking about the future. We always looked at the future for a lot of stuff because obviously it's great to look at the present, but the future is that's where we want to get to. The goals and aspirations that we have for ourselves and as a family, we looked for things that we can do in the now to affect the future. So we knew that, we as a family knew that this was going to be one of the best decisions we ever made. And I think we would never, ever regret that decision ever. And we also always encourage other kids and other families to also look into that route because, man, it can change your life. People who are struggling can go there and find people in relationships that can change your life forever. So, that experience and that opportunity and that decision for our family was probably one of the best decisions we probably made ever. So this was definitely great for sure.
Nice. Very well said. And so what was the point where you knew? Like, was there a particular moment where you knew, like, I think I can really play this game at a high level?
Yeah. I think it was my ninth grade year. We had went down to Georgia. So Peace Jam was kind of happening at this time, but our ninth grade team, there wasn't a ninth grade UI. Really, there wasn't really a ninth grade UIBL at the time yet. So there wasn't a Peace Jam for the ninth graders. So we had went down to Georgia and played at a different tournament while the 17s and all those guys played at Peace Jam. So a lot of guys had gotten injured on my team, and we had probably 6 guys there, 6 or 7 guys. And I came out first game, had like 30. Next game, I had like 25. And I was really killing it. Obviously, I knew at a younger age that I really wanted to take this game to the next level. But that tournament there really showed me that I can play this game and take it as far as I want to, right? So after that, I kind of really had this conversation with my dad, like, yo, I want to be a pro. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And he sat down with me. He was like, whatever you want to do, like, this is what we're going to do, you know? And he's been my rock. Him and my mother have been my rock for my whole entire life, pushing me, telling me stuff I really don't want to hear, but I need to hear, you know, help me make decisions where sometimes I might be like, I don't want to do this, but I need to do this. So they've been really helping me, you know, with that decision. And after that tournament, you know, I knew the game of basketball was going to be what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So that was definitely that moment for sure.
No question about it. And so you said you ended off your career at Brewster. A lot of love for my man Jay up there. You know, I'm a St. Thomas More alum, so I believe that St. Thomas More first. But a lot of respect and a lot of love for what Jay doing up at Brewster. So, you know what I mean? So obviously you made a great decision to go there. Brewster got high-level basketball. Jason takes care of his players up there. So talk about making the jump from your private school to now Brewster, because like we said, the Knapsack got some of the best competition in the country. So talk about that experience and playing that quality basketball every single day and getting that teaching, and then touch on your recruiting and what it came down to, like your final 2 that it came down to.
Mm-hmm. So definitely, you know, it's a big jump. Obviously, you know, I played YBL with PSA Cardinals. So, you know, I was always playing against high-level guys. But now he's talking about you come to a high school gym where you go from you and maybe 2 other guys on your team are the only ones that are really competing in practice, to every single guy from number 1 to number 16 on the team is competing. Like, you talking about it's high level in there, like college scouts from Syracuse to, you know, Georgetown to UConn. They're all coming into the gym, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm going up against Buddy Boeheim, who's at Syracuse right now, Miles Norris, who's at Oregon, Lucas Kasunas, who went to UConn, now is at Stanford, Derek Culver, who is at West Virginia, my guy Nate, who's at Washington. Like, all these guys, high level, 6'8", 6'10", 6'5", shooters, dudes that can handle the rock. And it's every day, like, it's a grind. So we battling every single day, right? So it was a big jump for me, right? And I came into Brewster kind of like stretch 4, could shoot it decently, but not where I really wanted to. Handles was okay, but really, my game wasn't really where I really wanted to get it to, right? So I got there, and Coach Smith was kind of like, yo, you're going to be a great player here. Like, I already know off the bat, like, I don't know what people talk about, you can't shoot. You're going to shoot that rock for me. And that confidence that he instilled in me and every single player on my team just kind of just flowed through me the whole season. And I shot the ball probably the best I've ever shot in my life. Like, shooting the ball, I probably like a 40% clip from the 3, you know, having 30-point games, 25-point games there at Brewster, and, you know, being able to be one of those leading guys on the team. And, you know, it fed off to everybody else. In that team is like, that's a team where you have at 1 through 10, somebody's having 20 points that night. You don't know who it's going to be, but somebody's giving you 20. Yes. So, you know, being able to be on a team like that helped me understand how to play with good players. You know, obviously I was playing in a high school team where I was kind of one of the only guys, and, you know, you have that man mentality. But playing at Brewster helped me get back to being able to play with good players and not having to always rely on, all right, I got to make every shot. It's like, I just got to make the best play possible for us to get a bucket, make the best defensive play for us to get the ball back. So that experience there was amazing. And I want to take anything back. And, you know, I definitely thank Coach Smith and Coach Lee for, you know, being able to, you know, give me the opportunity to play there and play at that high level. And I think, you know, guys should definitely look at the Knapsack. AAA, AA, it's the best conference in the country. I think so.
Yeah. So, what did your recruiting come down to? Talk about your recruiting and your top 2 picks.
Yeah, so it really came down to Xavier and Wake Forest. So I had like Oregon's and Minnesota's and the UConn and stuff, but Xavier and Wake Forest, it really came down to the two. So I took my 2 official visits there. 2 great programs and 2 places where, you know, if I would have went to Xavier, I feel like I would have prospered the same way I'm here. Um, I just always had that love for the ACC. Like I've always knew the ACC was the top conference in the country. Obviously, the Big East is great, but for me, I always knew that the ACC got the Dukes and North Carolinas, and those are schools that I wanted to recruit me at that time, and I never got recruited by. You know, I was recruited by St. John's. You know, I was recruited by Georgetown and offered, but I was recruited by them. But those blue bloods that I wanted those offers from, I knew at some time I wanted to play against those guys, right? I wanted to play against the Dukes and North Carolinas. I wanted to play against the Syracuses. I wanted to play against all those schools because those schools that never really recruited me when I was in high school. So, you know, I knew Wake had a great opportunity with Coach Manning there. And, you know, him also being a black coach really gave me a comfortability there of understanding who I was as a person and as a man. And it just made my family feel comfortable that we knew that they were going to have my back and understand, you know, what I go through as a black man and understand stuff like that. So, you know, I just had to come a whole comfortable feel when I was there and I went on my visit and I just kind of fell in love with it. And, you know, that's where, you know, I made my commitment to Wake.
Nice. Nah, I love that. And you touched on Danny Manning, definitely a legend, in this game, man. And talk about what it was like to be not just coached by a black man, which I definitely understand, but somebody who was college player of the year, national player of the year, #1 draft pick, you know, national champion, you know, and you know, NBA pro, NBA vet. So talk about what it was like, you know, playing under that type of tutelage, and not just him, but Randolph Childress as well, Coach, you know, Woodbury. These are all guys that play ball at a high level. So talk about the development that you got underneath them.
Man, it's crazy because like sometimes I would forget like who Coach Manning really was, right? Like you're talking about like we go out to dinner or like we're at a dinner and people walk in like, Coach Manning, can I get a picture with you? Like it was one time we were coming from Cali going to Penn State and we had flown commercial and we're walking through the airport going to our next flight and people are literally running next to us. Like we're in a line as a team and people are running next to us trying to get pictures with him. And I'm like, yo, I keep forgetting like, he's a #1 draft pick. Like he is literally a like a legend in Kansas. Like this man is literally like a whole like superstar. And I forget that sometimes, but you know, it was great, you know, playing under him and being able to like hear his stories, being in the NBA. You know, watch those games. You know, we went to his high school last year to see where he grew up. So it was great to see his journey and get that feedback from him from a pro level and also his coach level. And Coach Childress, man, that's my guy. Like he's gonna be my guy until I'm 6 feet under. So, you know, being able to, you know, really get close with him and somebody who's lit up the ACC tournament and just killed college basketball and being able to, you know, have him break down my game offensively and just use him as the sponge every single word that comes out of his mouth and understand like, you know, he's been there and he's been where I want to be and he's done it at the highest level. So, you know, it's been a fantastic ride being able to learn from those guys and have the opportunity to play under, you know, guys like that. So, you know, I'm just excited for this, the more, you know, knowledge to get, especially from Coach Childress and to, you know, add to my game.
Give me and my viewers the scouting report on Isaiah Mucius. What's the strengths and what's the weaknesses right now? Give me the scouting report. What are they saying? Talk to me.
Man, right now, I think if you were to right now, I'm shooting at probably like a 45, 46% from 3. So right now, I've been shooting the ball really well in practice, and that just came from, you know, over the summer working with Pat in my back, even in the backyard. It's windy outside, and we just worked on this, my form and my shot and being ready on the catch. And especially with Coach Chill, he always just implemented being ready on the catch. So, you know, I've been shooting the ball at a really, really, really high clip, and that's just from repetitions and work and just putting in the work. So, you know, definitely a slasher who can do a lot of things, a guy who crashes the board offensive and defensively. You know, obviously I would want my handles to be better, but, you know, they're I have enough handles to make sure I can get by somebody and make a good move. I don't got it like on some no professor stuff and no crazy string, but I can hit you with a little in and out cross, but between the legs, something like that. A guy who create his own shot, takes advantage of mismatches. And just really just offensively just a mismatch, nightmare just for anybody. If you switch on me for a big, I take you out there and just kind of, iso you on the island. If you got a little guy on you, I'm gonna take my advantage of my size, kind of shoot over you. I've been doing really better with my IQ and making reads off ball screens. With the new offense that Coach Forbes is running, it's a lot of 5 out. So I've seen a lot more time in ball screens than I did last year, being able to come off ball screens and make reads. So I've been trying to slow the game down for myself a lot more, and just get to that point where I'm making the right play and not trying to make the hero play of like, I need to make this jump shot because I got an open thing. It's like I might be open, but the help side guy is rotating and I can see him in my left eye, so I got to throw that hook pass to the guy, lift it up on the wing. So, slowing the game down for myself and just trying to make sure I'm making the right plays both on offense and defense.
So, because I got young student athletes that, that watch and that follow. Talk about the commitment of a student athlete at your level. So, so many kids want to get recruited to this level. That's their goal, to play at a high level Division I. But talk about the commitment. I think they like the glitz and the glamour. They want to be on TV, but talk about the daily grind, about the time management of being a student athlete at an ACC school.
Man, it's crazy because like it's always different. For Wake Forest academically, you're talking about academically, we're kind of high up with like the Harvards and the Yales, right? And the Columbias. Like you talk about academically, like we're up there with those schools, right? So at our school, it's great, all the basketball stuff and the glitz and glamours, but the professors don't treat you like you're an athlete. Like they're like, you a student, like you go and get treated like every other student who pays tuition here and does the same thing that you do. Like you're not gonna get any special treatment. We're not going to relax on you. We're going to give you the full throttle like we do everybody else, right? So, being able to time manage and then go into a hard practice lift, making sure you're eating right, nutrition, get your treatment. It's a grind. It's a super grind, and everybody loves the gear, the pictures, the TV games, and all that stuff. But behind the scenes, as a college basketball player, especially at this level, it's a grind. And sometimes there's a lot of sacrifices you got to make. Like, you can't go out with your boys on that weekend, or you can't go take the trip home. Like, you got to go into the gym. You got to go get your treatment. You maybe got to go watch some film. You got to really break down your schedule and know what you got to do for the week. So every time, on a Sunday, after I go do my golf and everything, I make sure I break down my schedule out, what I got for the week. All right, maybe Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be my hardest days. All right, I got to make sure that I prepare myself and I get to the gym early. I wake up a little bit earlier so I can eat my breakfast, make sure I get my extra lunch in and my extra meals in, and just make sure I prepare each and every day, because it's a grind every day, and the coaches are going to want more from you each and every day. So you have to make sure your body's taken care of to play at that level, and then make sure that your mind is clear to be able to, go through your days.
Nah, no doubt. I love